On a serious note, guys, I like Ben a lot. Please don't be weird in the chat. I can fuck around with Ben because he's a friend of mine. You guys cannot fuck around about anything. I mean, you can say his opinion sucks, but don't be weird about his fucking appearance. That's fucking weird. At the end of the day, Ben is a friend of mine. Does he have some shit opinions, in my opinion? Yes. But anybody being weird and personal in the chat is unacceptable. What is the title? What do you have it on? What's the title, Hish? His list is bad? I'll be the judge of that. Yeah, I'm cool with that title. Let's see.
What's up, guys? Ben here bringing another video today. First off, happy New Year's to everybody that had a great weekend. We're into the new year, and I've been requested a bunch by my Twitch chat, on Twitter, even in these YouTube comments. People are like, Ben, where are the player tier lists? So I'm kicking it off for you. We're going to do 3 videos. We're starting off with mini R's. We're going to do flexes, and then I'm doing like a combined SMG video because I didn't really want to split them into like support and entry. I don't know. The SMG thing is always a cluster F. So we're just going to start off with the ARs. Let's dive in. So a couple of things here. As always, you guys know I hate the letter thing, so I have made new categories. We have 4.
I'm
we
cool
have
with this. I'm cool with this.
These are your like players that are going to be, you know, candidates for first team, second team, all-star, maybe even MVPs. Impact players, these could be like takeover players, really good above average ARs. That's sort of the category I kind of feel is probably like top 4, top 6 ARs. Blue guys is going to be, you know, your sort of average guys. Not saying they're bad, not saying that they're amazing, but they fill a role and they do a good job. And they bring
so he has me as a glue guy, that I know.
And then finally we have needs work, and I think these are players that definitely have things to work on in their game.
1.5 speed, is that actually better?
Here, and we'll kind of talk about them individually.
Also, can we just get a W spam for the fact that I'm back in Boston and now we're not going to have to worry about the videos pausing and shit anymore? Can I do 1.25 speed? Is that possible? Oh, Christ, I've ruined it. 1.25. Timmy with a prime for 6. Welcome back.
Flexes, and then I'm doing like a combined SMG video because I didn't really want to split them into like support and entry. I don't know. You guys are like top, but they fill players that sort of the areas of improvement when we get to them. So just at least
I didn't see it. I didn't see
this player list. I'm gonna kind of weigh still a little bit people's performances from last season, and obviously factor in their major 1 performance.
Last season.
But there'll be a couple of players I think who were on teams that probably had like one bad day, you know, got dumped in the first 2 days of the tournament, who were probably better than how they played in that tournament. So we'll give them the benefit of the doubt, at least for this version of the playlist. Now, when we do this after Major 2 and Major 3, like, we're not going to be thinking about last season anymore. I just, you know, with the earlier start this year, we got to give people credit.
You know, I'm not completely against
and maybe
it.
off to a little bit of a slow start. Also note, by the way, these are using last year's headshots. I will try and find a tier maker, a tier list, and make one maybe for the next video that has people's jerseys from their headshots from the Raleigh event. So starting off, we're going to go alphabetical. We're going to go ahead and start with Atlanta FaZe. That means we're going to talk about Slasher, aka Austin Litico, who obviously made the big move from LAG to Atlanta FaZe. You know, I think my big thing with Austin is last season, obviously the LAG team was super up and down, and they had the one event win. But I think as very much a catalyst to that team, and I know a lot was spoken about, you know, the impact that Spar had in that tournament, you know, Asem had, Hook had. I thought that Austin, their whole season, was their best player, most consistent. And Austin's S&D numbers in the 1-2 that he dropped in that game mode, the impact that he had in clutches, he looked like one of the best S&D players in the game. And I think that had a lot of teams' interest in him.
Predict where he puts everyone for 10 gifted if correct. Okay, well, I already know 3 of them. He puts Trey in needs work. And I think he puts me and Clay in glue guys. But I can do that. I can guess. He's going to put Slasher. Oh, and I know he put Slasher in impact player.
Considering what was going on with the LAG situation, Atlanta FaZe also trying to move on from Arcides. Now, I know that Austin's numbers so far this season are okay. You know, impact is good. You look at his overall numbers, and he's just below a 1. S&D KD, not amazing, but it's early. Control is actually looking pretty good. He's definitely an above impact player there.
Yeah, I'm
For
wearing
I
the
think maybe
Modern
best
Warfare
place to
2
put Austin
pajamas.
right now, considering they had a good season last year, and he's still trying to figure out his role.
This is a
on this
1.25
team.
speed.
I'm going to go ahead and put him in impact player, at least for right now. We'll see when we rank sort of the next 11 players.
Okay.
Where we want to put him. All right, next up, we have the boys from Boston, a.k.a. The Breach, and that means we're going to be talking about former flank guest of the year winner and current main AR for the Boston Breach, Mr.
Actually,
Anthony
let's keep it on
Zinni.
this.
Zin's an interesting player because you look at the numbers.
He puts me in glue, guys.
And Zin is definitely always up there with some of the best in terms of AR slaying. He had a great season last year for Boston, who I think many did not have in their top 8 last year, but I think Zin brought a lot of experience to a younger team, and they were able to really, I think, overperform their expectations last year.
Okay, kind words.
They didn't do much there, but they had a bunch of other good placings throughout the year, and they were pretty clear in the top half or top 8 of the league. You know, the
I think we were top 16
pretty much the entire season. So I really tipped that. This season, they didn't have the best of Major 1 LAN performances, and I think some of that might be due to Big Way kind of having health issues at the event. It's obviously disappointing, but I expect them to play a little bit better. I think the question for Boston is always are they a good team or are they a great team? You know, this is kind of an interesting spot because, you know, my knock on Zin, and if you watch my streams, you know, is I do think Zin is a good player. I think that he brings a lot to the team.
Okay.
He's not a risky player in the way that we see some of these other main ARs definitely, you know, decide to give up their lives to support big team pushes instead of sort of playing a little bit safe. And I think Zin has a habit, if you look at, you know, matches that are big matches or situations where they get into map 4 or map 5, he does need to speed it up because his instinct is to slow it down. So
game 4, game 5, okay. Are we talking about when I dropped the most kills in the lobby against New York in game 5 in our L this year? Or the most kills in game 5 versus Elevate at the event? I'm just debunking this. I have no choice but to argue with what he's saying. If he's saying I don't make big plays or I slow down in game 5s, it would not be possible. He said in big matches, that's against the current defending champions. And we beat Seattle and FaZe. Those are big matches. But hey, it's an opinion. He can have it.
Carries into like a lot of the other main ARs in this league. I think for now, I'm going to put Zin in glue, guys. I don't think he's anywhere close to needs work. I think he's somewhere in these 2 categories. I just don't know which one he's in yet. So for now, I'm going to put him in glue, guys. But we might shuffle this.
You know what?
As we start to.
I respect that, and I think this is a fair. And let me be self-reflective and honest here. I actually think this is a fair assessment based on the year so far. My team is 2-4. I've had good maps and I've had average maps and I've had below average maps. And with my team being 2-4 and underperforming, I am okay with this current placement. So I'm not going to hate on him for this so far.
Our team that we are going to be discussing now is the Florida Beaniers as we continue this alphabetical journey. And that means we'll be discussing my boy.
He's going to put Major in needs work because I saw that one too.
Journey sort of in the CDL. He's bounced to a couple of different teams throughout his tenure in CDL. He obviously started out on Atlanta FaZe, and then he was on Rocker, and now he's on Florida after he was had a stint on there at the end of last season. So he's bounced around a little bit. When we talk about Mike, I think Mike is very much one of those players that's kind of evolved in sort of a specialist role, which is sort of interesting because a lot of players are not like that. We know that Mike is just sort of an insane S&D player. He's a great clutch guy, really works on S&D strats. But in sort of the world of sort of respawn gameplay that we live in right now, at times, Mike has struggled in certain game modes. Now, last year, actually, weirdly enough, when it came to Rocker's hardpoint game, I thought Mike was probably one of the more fundamental.
1.5 speed now, I'm cool with that.
Times were kind of the ones trying to make the right play. And the numbers kind of support, I think, him doing a good job filling his role. But he really struggled in control last year. If I look up the stats right now, he had a 0.85 KD in control last year, which is not good. So, and I look at sort of his teammates that they had throughout the year, and you look at like Florida, for example, where he ended up the season, like Skies over 1, Big Wake over 1. Reese was also a 0.86, and 2 real numbers not that great. But Mike, across both teams, not amazing numbers. You know, one of the respawn game modes is always going to be a work in progress, I think, for him, if you look at his, you know, even his phase numbers back in the day. And then so far this season, he's actually done a pretty good job. Kind of in the 0.95 category, but again, controls sort of the weaker game mode. So for me, I don't really know where to put Mike. For now, I'm going to put him in needs work because I think the weakness in sort of respawn carry to some of these ARs. It's going to be interesting. Let's see how we shuffle these as we continue to fill it out. Next up, we got the Las Vegas Legion, and that means we're going to be talking about my boy, Mr. Clayster.
He's going to put Clay in glue, guys, from what I saw earlier.
People that don't know,
so I saw, okay.
So it's always funny when
I saw he puts Clay here and he puts Trey here. The rest I will guess because I don't know.
Interesting last season. And by interesting, I mean was not great. The seasons before that was better, but this first year of the New York tenure was just as
So the rest I will guess,
and
but
he
those I
obviously
do know.
won champs in the first year with that Dallas Empire team. If I look at, we talk about Clay's numbers, especially when he was on New York, it is, I would say go take a look if you're interested, because honestly, they may surprise you in how bad they were. And that it kind of explains, I think, to an extent of how he got dropped off that team, but there's obviously more stuff going on.
20 gifted if you get them all right without chat.
He's
All
been
right,
okay S&D best
Geekster with a tier 1 for 17, welcome back.
Maybe a little bit to work on. So I don't really know where to put Clay right now. I'm going to put him in glue guys for now.
Yeah, so Clay glue guys, he's going to put Trey in needs work. So let me skip to that point.
Alec, who's coming over from the on his team right now, and I think as we fill this out,
Alec, he's going to put impact player.
For now, we're going to put him at the bottom here. All right, we're going to start with the 2 Los Angeles teams now, and that's going to be LA Gorillas coming up first. So we've got to talk about my boy Alec, who's coming over from the
I think he does Alec LAG.
Everything in Cold War.
I'm sorry, I think he does Alec impact
everything
player.
Everything came second at legit every event last year.
I can't look at chat now because it's for 20 gifted, so I'm going to try my best not to look
the situation with Austin, so Alec went the other way in that transaction. I think my biggest knock on Alec last year was he was, I think, very inconsistent at times last year. We know what he brings from a leadership perspective, so he's definitely a plus player as a teammate, but the slaying last year, the situational play in S&D wasn't great, and I think while the numbers would say, oh, you look at it like he was a decent player in search, the Atlanta FaZe players have come out and said, you know, a lot of the move on their end was with that game mode in mind. Y'all probably seen what's happened with LAG this season. It's been not great. This is definitely a project, but I think Alec
is going to be hard
to lead, and so I'm putting him for now probably in the top of the glue guys category. I think he may slide up to sort of impact player here. Now, for now, let's put him impact player, and we'll see.
Thank God.
But I like Alec.
If I lost in the first round already, I would have fucking lost it, dude.
In the last year or so, but I think he'll figure it out. All right, we're doing the next LA team, and we were talking about my boy Sam, aka
Octane. Oh fuck. He's got to put Sam in All Stars, right? He's got to put Sam in All Stars.
What a season after a season of complete turnover the year before, and Sam obviously having that 2-year tenure in Seattle, and it didn't go well when he was on Seattle. Let's just be honest about that. But last year, you know, they were a great team.
Impact
in the season, they really improved. I think, especially in S&D. I think I gotta give tip Sam on that because that's probably his weakest game mode has been since he's been a pro player. He's always been a great respawn.
He had a trash stage 1. Yeah, but who the fuck do you put in All Star? How many All Stars does he have? 1 or 2? I think All Star.
Look, I know LA.
I'm sticking with All Star.
Times the last major, but they're still a good team. I'm putting Sam probably top of Impact. Actually, no, we're gonna put Sam in All Star. I think when all is said and done,
dude, he keeps giving me blue balls.
Let's see how these going to shuffle out. But as far as the like 7 players we've gone through right
now,
okay,
so far I'm a lock.
Probably above Alec and Austin. Yeah, I feel good about that for now. We'll leave Sam there. All right,
so
next
far
up we have
I'm
the
a
Rocket
lock.
Boys, and that means we're gonna talk about Dylan Attach. He's actually.
Oh my God. He's going to put Dylan in impact player.
New one to this main AR category. I've been friends with Dylan for a long time, and people have been saying, Dylan, you're a great sub player. You're going to be an amazing main AR if you switch. Please make the move. He finally did it in the last season and instantly became a top player in the game. No surprise there. I think the knock on Dylan is a little bit similar to Zen because I think Dylan, we'll compare and contrast. Dylan's I think, much more well-rounded player, much more impactful player on the map. I think a way better search player. I mean, we know Dylan's historical clutches in S&D. You can go look them up. They're amazing. I think the knock on Dylan sometimes, similar to Zen, in situations where there's a lot on the line, things are a little bit tense.
Why did he just suck him off? Why the fuck did I somehow catch a stray talking about Dylan? Explain to me why the fuck he just sucked Dylan off and threw me astray to gas Dylan up. Explain to me why the fuck that had... You stupid fuck.
His tendency as a player is
I'd
to
slap your glasses off your head.
With his team. So it's a fixable problem if he plays at pace because Dylan can be a tough player.
I'm going impact player.
Kill. He plays his life well. He's very ratty. So he fits the mini AR play style well. And his performance so far this season, I think, has been solid. I know the Rocker team has been kind of up and down. Search has been a real struggle for them, especially when they went to land. But in respawn, Dylan looked good. Was a player that very much went up people's lists last season. I'm trying to think where I'm going to put Dylan for now. Ranking ARs is not easy, chat. Let's go here. Let's go with All Stars for now. These 4 is it's really hard for me. I might need to reshuffle these once we put them all down here, but for now, let's go with this order. I'm gonna play him in the back end of ARs with Sam. But the New York subline is coming up next, so we're gonna talk about Caesar Skies Bueno. He obviously made the move from Florida after being there for a couple of years, playing with his Valorant buddy Hydra on New York now. You know, I think Caesar really used some good momentum prior to.
Damn it! I don't get my
really
gifted.
Make a name for himself in the last couple of years, and he's come in and been one of the better ARs in the league,
Hold
especially
on.
when it comes.
We'll see. I'm hoping. I love Dylan, one of my close friends. I'm hoping he reshuffles him down the impact player, because if I guess these right, I get gifted. So please shuffle him.
This guy's probably one of the better search ARs there.
Caesar? Oh, what's he gonna do to Caesar? Oh, Caesar just had like an MVP type performance. This is tough. I'm saying impact player.
We have, as well as, you know, we know what he can do in respawn. Good to see Caesar on a better team now, and I'm very happy that he finally was able to grab a really good land W. Obviously, he had won
I will say,
online stuff with Florida, but finally
at
that
this
first
point in the
victory
year,
this
if he
season.
doesn't
So
have
obviously New York just won
Caesar
the
and
event, so his
All-Star,
numbers
it's
are
pretty
great. They're playing
stupid.
really good. They look like a team that all 4 players really believe in the system they're executing.
You pre-watched
I am
it?
a
No,
fan of what
I did
Caesar
not
and the
pre-watch
squad is
it.
doing
I
this
only
year.
saw the
Caesar
first
in
4.
All-Stars. We can't have
GG,
like
I'm
we got
fucked.
only really have 2 players here, so I got to move someone down. I'm moving Dylan down here. Putting Caesar and Sam up there for now. I don't really want to put more than 2 players in All-Stars because it's like first, second, ballot type situation. I'm going to give Sam, like, obviously a little bit more. I'm trying to figure out how to break this 5-way tie right here. And I want to give Sam a little bit of a bump from winning last season. Obviously, Caesar's a team. There's just one I thought Caesar played
That's
really, really
good,
good this
but
tournament.
I
And didn't
still
really
lost.
get as much flowers
I
as
choked.
Kiz and Preston Hydra did. So I'm going to go with this for now. We're probably going to
I
talk the rest
choked.
of these. And this gets very interesting because we are talking about Optic Texas now. I'm recording this in the beginning of January, and there's a question about whether or not this specific person is going to still be on the team. But we're talking about Bruce, a.k.a. Dashy, and I'll tell you right off the bat, we put him in.
Well, he did it too quick. I couldn't even. Bro, thanks for the 10 bomb, guys. Can we get some love in chat for Flizzy? Let's spam the sub pipe emote. Let's get a W, Lizzie. This one's unfair because he just said his name, and at the same time he put him in a category. So I didn't even have time to gather my thoughts and guess. So that's fucking horse shit, Ben.
An impact player. Don't even need to think about that one. I think with Bruce, the numbers are amazing, and he's a borderline all-star MVP. I just think the reason that I can't really put him in all-star right now is sort of the live momentum at this roster change and the extras, the non-slaying stuff that I think factor into this decision. So he really should be in the all-star category.
I would have said it. I would have said impact player.
I just think the other stuff.
Based on this year so
far. He would
far.
probably post Major 2. If he really improves, he should be in the all-star category, but for now we're putting him in the impact player spot. All right, next up we have a Seattle Surge. That means we're talking about my guy Lamar.
Lamar's weird here. Lamar, usually Ben would put him in glue guys. I have some weird feeling he's going to do impact player due to like leadership or something. I'm saying glue guys though.
I'm no hezzy again with this one. You could argue that he's a needs work guy because of the lack of sling, but Seattle's been a pretty good team, and I think Lamar is like the literal definition of a glue guy. He's going to be statistically always near the bottom when it comes to ARs. But the thing with Lamar that I cannot.
If he would have put Lamar in needs work, let me talk about Lamar. The guy just plays second. So you cannot sit here and be one of those people who says KD doesn't matter and then fault Lamar for his KD. If he would have put Lamar in needs work, I would have texted Ben and said, you are a hating asshole. Because everybody always I've said it before, everybody always talks about friendship bias, and the guy just plays fucking second, dude. I don't care if all 3 of his teammates were walking on water. Placing second in a competitive league. I think Lamar's a glue guy. Lamar does his role. He gets the kills he needs. He's not this fucking super main slayer jumping around the map 40 bomb player, but he gets it done. He knows where he has to be and when. He's a solid search player. Lamar above Zin, outrageous. He just plays second. Second.
All these teams that he's
I'm just happy he didn't put him in needs work. That would have been insane.
Their ability as a squad, and the players in the team talk about the leadership, the preparation, and the mindset that Lamar brings. It's literally the definition of a glue guy, so I'm putting him in this category, no hesitation. And our last team we've got is the Toronto Ultra, and that means we're going to talk about Jamie Inside, who's had an interesting journey.
Okay, he puts Jamie an impact player.
In the CDL, and has come in, especially on that Cold War team when they dropped Methodz to bring him in. He's come in and been really a phenomenal player. Definitely a guy that brings an impact to a team. We can talk about overall numbers with him. The Toronto team so far this year has been kind of standing out from the mid-pack, at least in the first
This
event.
guy loves me,
numbers
dude.
so far this season. 1.1 overall, 105 in hardpoint, 125 in S&D. Wow, I didn't actually know his search kitty is that high in control. So Jamie's having a great season right now. And then his numbers last year were pretty good. I don't think his year last year was as good as the Cold War year.
Notice this. Just everybody take note. Notice how everybody says KD doesn't matter, but they use it to fit their narrative. Right now, he is saying Jamie is having an unreal season because of his KD. And I'm not saying Jamie's not having a good season. But everybody uses it to fit whatever agenda they have. He started earlier by saying Zin's always going to have top slaying numbers, but blah, blah, blah. All I'm saying is everybody says KD doesn't matter, but it's all the fucking people talk about.
And downs, but he was averaging still 104, 111 in search. Probably, again, one of the better S&D ARs we have. We have a little bit of a logjam situation now, because on default, he should be an impact player, and I don't want to put, I'm just thinking about this. Do we do 7 guys above average and 5 below? I got to move someone down. All right, so here's the deal. We set the criteria.
Hold on, I
want to make sure we tip people.
Hold on. See, now he's on my ass. He's on my cock. Because he said glue guys are not below average. They're like your average, could be above average guys, and now he's saying 5 below average. You could suck my cock, Ben.
Played good last year, and then obviously had slow starts this event. So I think, unfortunately, as much as I would like to balance this out going 4-4, I think I'm going to do someone dirty by moving them to glue guys. So I think we're going to keep this sort of balance right now, like to the point of the 4 tiers. Like the average is somewhere between these 7 guys right here. But I think this is the split so far I have this season. I feel good about the bottom category here. I feel good about this one. It's just this 7 is very tricky right now. I feel good about putting Sam in All-Stars. I think some of you might argue maybe the lack of quality S&D, but I just think for Sam, a lot of people are going to always put him into the top AR category. When he's on, he's on. And Caesar, I got a tip because he's playing really good on the New York team. But
I won't comment.
Could be a lot of movement, I think, between players like Insight, Attach, Austin, even Bruce if he figures it out, up to All-Stars. But I feel good about this set. We're going to lock and load for our first player tier list with this group. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. That was my first
All I got to
tier
do
list,
is
and I
bring
think I
out
did like a
Vanguard,
7
Major
Let me know what you
2s
think about
in.
my picks. I think we'll improve as we continue to do
And
these.
then
We're
we'll
gonna
see
do
his
a,
next list.
X1
You know what
coming
I'm
next, and
saying?
We're going to do sub-players.
That's all I got to do.